TFA fam, welcome into the Sunday version, the Week 11 Q&A part. Appreciate all you rocking with us. There are already a bunch of questions in the chat, so we're just going to go ahead and dive right into this. But first, let's talk about the Week 11 injury report. Looks like Gus Edwards is going to be doubtful in this game, so you can fire up Kenyon Drake. Obviously, Juju is out. Mecole Hardman on IR. I threw that one in there because I kind of forgot he was put on IR. Jerry Jeudy out, Josh Reynolds doubtful as well with his back injury. Threw that one on there because DJ Chark has been activated. Looks like he is going to make his return. Questionable, couple ones that are going to be big hitters. Kyler Murray is another game time decision. DeAndre Hopkins is now dealing with a hamstring injury. And then Gerald Everett was a late downgrade. So it looks like the Chargers could be without him. But on the other side of that, looks like Mike Williams is good to go. Keenan Allen said he quotes plans to play, but it's going to be up to the coaching staff. So that doesn't really make me feel good about plugging him in. Devontae Adams should be good to go. Mark Andrews got in a full practice on Friday as well. And it looks like Zeke will be back this week. But then the report we got on that was that they are going to still use Pollard and ease Zeke back in. So whatever that ends up meaning, I think you can feel good about Pollard as well. Kev, buddy, let's dive into it, man. Michael Brown leading us off. Hey, everyone. Pick 2, A.J. Brown, Amon-Ra, or Tony in a PPR. Not sure, but I'm wanting to start Tony tonight. Would that be crazy?
It's not crazy to start him. I love Tony this week, but I'm not starting him over A.J. Brown or Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah, me either. Mike, if you're still rocking with us, because I know you did leave this pretty early, what flex option are you rolling out? Who do you have at flex if you're with us now? Let us know that. Kev on a Sunday morning. LFG ducking. Let's go. Need one flex, half PPR. Jamal Williams or Deonta Foreman. Donata.
This is Jamal Williams.
Yeah, I'm going Jamal Williams here as well. Got the younger rocking with us. Who do I play in the flex and a full PPR? Sutton, Sanders, or Cooper?
I'm going to go with Courtland Sutton. It's just an excellent matchup against the Raiders. The Raiders' defense has been terrible. I think they've allowed a QB 1 week every week of the year. And they've allowed it's like 100.7 passer rating, which is absurd on the year. And so without Jerry Jeudy, you're looking at like Kendall Hinton and Greg Dulcich as being the other pass catchers here. So I just think Sutton is going to see so many targets. Great matchup. I like Amari Cooper, but I also think, if you follow the narrative street of, he's not very good away from home, which goes back for a while. I mean, he is the same way with Dallas. And so, I'm not going to put all my eggs in that basket, but just Courtland Sutton makes for a really good play.
Yeah, I agree. It is very odd, especially if you look at this year. I don't think Cooper has had double-digit fantasy points in any of his away games. It's been
Donovan Peoples-Jones actually on the road has been great. He's been the guy you want to play every week on the road. It's been DPJ. So,
yeah, I'm going to go Sutton as well for everything you just laid out, Kev. It's just such a great matchup for him. And then Hinton is questionable as well. I think he plays, but he did have a DNP sandwiched in between 2 limited practices. So
yeah. And I think they said that was always the plan to give him a day off, a day of rest. So yeah, he should be good to go.
Gotcha. Crip, flex, full PPR, Boyd, Moore, Monty, Olave, or Foreman. Some interesting options here at the flex.
I think it's between Boyd, Monty, and Olave. I'm not all that high on Deonta Foreman this week. It's not a really good matchup. And he's been much more of the positive game script running back. So unless you think the Panthers are going to be able to get a lead here in this game against the Ravens, I just don't think he's that great of a play this week. And so he's kind of crossed off. Rondale Moore, I think, is fine. He's actually been really good, really the last month of the season.
D-Hop now being banged up.
Yeah, but I think it's just with Olave, like he seems like such an obvious play, but Andy Dalton has been so bad, and they just continue to stick with them. And so, great matchup for Monty, but obviously, Justin Fields is nuking a lot of value. But
Yeah.
without Khalil Herbert, should open up a little bit more rushing opportunities for him. So I'm gonna go Olave. I'm just gonna go Olave. I don't love it, but
I'm gonna go Monty. I'm just gonna lock in the volume. I know obviously Justin Fields is taking, 20 PPR points per week away from him with his rushing and his touchdown upside. But like you said, with Herbert out, I don't think Ebner factors in too much. Like I think he sees less opportunity than what Khalil Herbert was. And in that matchup, I think it just sets up really well. Like Tyler Boyd should be a really good play here, but his involvement has been up and down. He really has that one spike week where he was like wide receiver 5 on the week, and then other than that, it's been pretty disappointing with Jamar Chase out. So I'm just going to lock in the opportunity and go with Monty.
yeah, it's kind of wild that Minka Fitzpatrick is going to be back. Like one game missed with an appendectomy. Like I was like shocked.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
dude's a monster. RD, good morning, fellas. Need 2 and a flex. Looking at Ramondre Foreman, Slayton, Devonta Smith, Amon-Ra, and Olave.
so Ramondre.
I wonder what 2 he needs. Is it 2 running backs or 2 receivers? I'm
Well,
assuming it's 2 receivers, right?
yeah, it
Because he
can't be
only
two
has
running
2
backs.
running backs.
Yeah, so Ramondre, and then Amon-Ra, St. Brown, and Olave.
I agree. That's Riley as well.
I don't know. I don't. It's with no degree of certainty, for sure. Like he should be right. Like he's definitely the best pass catcher they have. I know Jarvis Landry came back, but he's just been disappointing. I mean, you have to go back to like week 7 to where he had a decent week. I mean, I guess week 9 he had 13, but still, like that's nothing exciting. Like it's not bad. It's not great. He only has one game on the year where he scored over 20 DK or 20 fantasy points, but the targets are there. He's still seeing a 26% target share in the offense. It's just, yeah.
The one thing that does worry me with that matchup is the fact that the Saints are likely to be without their left tackle. Like Penning was already on IR. It doesn't look like he's going to be back, and now the guy who had been playing for him looks like he's going to be out too. So I think that puts up. It's either a rookie from this year or a rookie from last year, but he's a 6th-round pick. So
yeah, their offensive line is pretty banged up.
Yeah. But I still think like Slayton is so hard to trust. He's obviously been the one that's been playing like better than Olave the past couple of weeks, but like he's getting there on such efficiency. Like 3 catches for 80 yards and a score, and things. So he's not. So I'm going to go Olave. Let's keep it moving. Amon-Ra, Olave, and Ramondre for URD. Abraham out here getting the early peak at the Thanksgiving food. Let's go. Struggling on who to start because of the upside with all of these players. We need 1 running back, 1 wide receiver, and a flex. So Sanders, Monty, Najee, Boyd, Pittman, Sutton, and McLaurin. Some nice wide receiver options.
So Monty, Sutton, and McLaurin. I did some updates to the rankings last night, and I have Sutton at wide receiver 10, and I have McLaurin at wide receiver 11.
Where do you have Pittman? Like 13 or 14?
Yeah, 13.
Where do you have Sanders in this mix?
Miles, I have him at RB 15.
Monty for sure. Sutton. The only thing with McLaurin that worries me is that they just ground and pound, they get up, and they don't really have to throw. That's the only thing that worries me with McLaurin. But obviously, with Heineke in there, his target share is absolutely blown up compared to what it was with Wentz. I'm going to roll with you on this one as well. I'm going to go McLaurin over Sanders. Sanders is really close to me there, though. Yeah, AP, like I said, Sanders is definitely close there, but Sutton is the one I want to plug in.
Have to remember, India is a very, very good run defense. They are 5th in rush DVOA on the year. Like, it's just not a very good matchup. Like, it really wouldn't surprise me at all if the Colts won this game today, with them being a little banged up. But the Colts defense has actually been pretty good. Their offense obviously looks a lot better, and their strength is running the football. And the Eagles really struggle at stopping the run. And so if Jonathan Taylor can get things going, like it's well within the range of possibility that the Colts win this game. And just Miles Sanders, it's just not a very good matchup.
Yeah, we kind of saw the blueprint last week, right? Just ground and pound and be physical. Obviously, somehow the Colts' offensive line has been disappointing, but yeah.
Up until last week, I will say last week they looked way better. It was probably the best game one of the best games they played as a unit all year.
Boyd or Sutton and a half PPR. This is definitely going to be Sutton for us. We both like Boyd, but Sutton is a top 12 option, and Boyd is kind of like that mid wide receiver too. Her guy Aiden rocking with us. Good to see Aiden here. Good to see you. Tough one today. I got Pittman, James Conner, Tony Pollard, Devonta Smith, and Keenan Allen. I need 2. Pretty stuck on it. Let me know what you think. Thanks.
Pollard for sure.
I'm not messing with Keenan Allen just yet.
Well, especially, Mike Williams is also back too. So, I would go, I would go Pittman and Pollard here.
Yeah, I was going back and forth with James Conner. Niners defense still banged up. Eric Armstead still not returning. Yeah, that's where I'm going. Gallo, would you drop Warren for McKinnon in a full PPR?
Yeah, I would. I don't understand why McKinnon doesn't get more love. Like,
I don't know.
He's
probably because of all the Pacheco hype.
Yeah, but he's still a really solid flex option. He's scored back to.
Especially in full PPR.
And you can make a case like you have to. Remember the Chiefs aren't a team that's really ever going to commit to the run, right? And so if it's a really good matchup, which this is, the Chargers are terrible against the run. So I like Pacheco, but like if this game script, especially with the Chargers being at full strength with their offense, something we haven't seen since week 1. I think it said they played 7 snaps together. That's all they've had this year. 7 full snaps of where you've had Herbert, Mike Williams, and Keenan Allen on the field together. 7. Wow. And so we haven't really seen their offense, full strength. And, if they can get up quickly, it's going to be a McKinnon game. It's not going to be a Pacheco game.
CVB. 2 running backs, 1 flex. Mixon, Stevenson, Patterson, Jamal Williams, Eli Mitchell, and Kmet in a full PPR.
Mixon and Stevenson.
And then Jamal for me.
And then I'm flexing CPAT. I started more and more. I've dug in to this. So you look at CPAT, and I know it's he was somebody I talked about on the video I did. And I think if you look at it, one, he was coming off IR, and they played 2 games in 4 days. And I think that's the biggest reason we saw him have like a limited workload the last time they played. on that Thursday night game. And so now they are back to, they've had almost 10 days of rest. I think he gets back to being the guy who handles, 50 to 60% of the snaps. And just a great matchup against Chicago. Chicago is absolutely dreadful against the run. Chicago has allowed the 60% of the touchdowns they have allowed this year have come on the ground. They've allowed the most rushing touchdowns on the year. They've also allowed a touchdown on their second in the league, and they've allowed 40% of their of opponents' drives have gone for a touchdown, which is the second highest rate in the NFL. You compare that with the touchdowns as well with rushing. CPAT is a really, really strong play.
Okay, I respect it. Tim J. Should I roll with Stevenson or put Pacheco in?
You go Stevenson. Like, I'm not as high on, like, some people are like really high on Stevenson this week. I'm not as high on him because the Jets defense is really good, but he gets so much opportunity through the air. So if it's a PPR league, you got to play him because, I mean, he could see 6, 7, 8 receptions today, which would be good enough to be able to, carry him. I don't think he's gonna, he's gonna split touches with Damian Harris on the, in terms of rushing, but through the air, he gets so much. He's going to see so much volume there because of that. That, I mean, it's pretty hard to sit him.
I'm gonna roll with Pacheco. We have our first disagreement of the morning, I guess. Like you were mentioning, just an absolutely terrible run defense with the Chargers, and then they put 2 more defensive linemen on the IR following their last game. Looking at a 52.5 total. The Chiefs have an implied point total of 29, the highest on the board. So I like the upside here for Pacheco in what should be a much more high scoring affair. Looking at that Jets game, that is down to a 38-point total, and that is the lowest. Yeah, that's the lowest total we have on the week. Another one here from Crystal. We have Murray in a QB, Jones, St. Brown, Ayuk, Mixon, CPAT, Stevenson, Eli, Jamal, Andrews. Looks like he should be back. Yeah, I mean, really the only thing you're debating here is the Murray situation, just because he's a game time decision.
You better have Colt McCoy on the ready if he doesn't play.
I would just play Jones and not even dick with it. I would just go Danny Dimes, Crystal. I put him in. I mean, sucks with Kupp and Chase for you both out, but it looks like Chase should be nearing a return soon. Then I like your running backs. Think you can drop Komet now that Andrews is back, so looks good. Ken MacArthur, half PPR, 1 running back, 1 flex. We're looking at Michael Carter, CPAT, J. Rob, Algier, DJ Moore, Jacoby Myers, Drake London, and Elijah Mitchell. So we're going CPAT here at running back, and then I'm going to flex.
I want to flex DJ Moore.
I'm going to flex Jacoby. And I'm just such a DJ Moore hater. I don't know why. I don't know where it came from. I've come to realize that I have a bias against DJ Moore, and I truly couldn't tell you why. I really don't know why.
Probably because all the times he's let people down.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
It's not even him. It's just the quarterback play. Like, I hope, please just get a good quarterback in the draft next year, Carolina. Can we just make the right choice and just get a good quarterback and set DJ Moore free?
Andy Dalton to Carolina confirmed. Yeah, I like the spot that Jacoby's in. So it's not just the DJ Moore hate. I like the spot for Jacoby, even though it does look like there could be some win concerns in this game. But with Jacoby operating mostly out of the slot, I think he should be fine. And then the Jets slot corner, Michael Carter II, I think is top 7, top 6 in terms of receiving yards allowed from the slot. Andy Dalton gives me gray hair for Crab Gravy, DPJ, or Olave.
Yeah, I'm going Olave. I get it, but
yeah, we're gonna
that whole situation too is so dumb. I have no idea why they don't go back to Jameis, but whatever.
Yeah, we're gonna continue with the gray hairs, Crab Gravy. We're gonna roll Olave. While Lito coming through with the $5 holla. Kadarius Toney smash week. What's he priced at on DK?
Well, they play Sunday night, so that's just
yeah. That's right.
Showdown.
Never mind. Man, that DK pricing is rough this week. Kicks for Mike, wide receiver 2 and a flex. Toney, CPAT, Pollard, and Sutton. Some nice options here, Mike.
Yeah, that's tough. I'm gonna go Sutton. Man. That's really close between Toney and Pollard.
Between Toney and Pollard?
I'm going to go with Toney Pollard. No, yeah. It's super close between both of those guys. But I'm gonna go with Pollard.
I think your safe option is with Pollard, and then if you need to swing for some upside, I think you can throw Toney in. So I think that would be a little matchup dependent for me. Like if you feel good about your matchup, Mike, I would just go with Pollard, lock in the touches. But if you need, not feeling great, if you're trailing, you need some upside, I would roll with Kadarius. Emilio, Keenan, Connor, or Monty at the flex full PPR.
I'm going to go Montgomery.
It's Monty for me, and then Fields or Dak at QB.
Fields.
Going Fields.
I don't love pairing them together, but I mean, you could just get all of the rushing and all the touchdowns from that game, and it has one of the highest totals on the week. So, which is so weird to see when you have two teams that just want to run the football to see that high of a total.
Correct.
And then we have wide receiver 2. Yeah. Is that wide receiver 2 and a flex? Is that what he's needing? So it has to be, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to be Sutton and Terry.
I agree. But if you only need one, it's going to be Sutton.
Correct.
Soto rocking with us. Good to see Soto in here.
This is going to be Kenyon Drake. It doesn't sound like Gus Edwards is going to play. Even if Gus Edwards were to play, it sounds like he would be limited, extremely limited. So I'm going with Kenyon Drake. Kenyon Drake has been really good the last 2 weeks. And so, yeah. And Zeke plays. It sounds like he's going to be limited. Yeah. No, and even if Zeke wasn't, I still really wouldn't be all that excited. I still would want to play Kenyon Drake. With that news, I moved Kenyon Drake up inside my top 20 for running backs this week. So,
yep. Agreed. Fields or Burrow?
Fields. For the record, I have Justin Fields at QB2 this week. So unless you have Patrick Mahomes, I'm playing Justin Fields, or I guess Josh Allen, because you're not sitting Josh Allen either. But those would be the two guys.
Fields for me as well. I didn't have a pretty tough start sit today. We need 3 out of Swift, Mike Will, Sutton, Toney, and Pacheco.
Sutton, Toney, and Mike Williams. Mike Williams, the Chief Killer. Crushes the Chiefs every time he plays.
Yeah, Swift, as sad as it is to say, Swift doesn't really factor in here for me.
What's going to happen, though? It's going to come. He's going to have this monster week, and no one's going to play him because he's going to be on everybody's bench.
I mean, when you have options like this, so that's fine. Like I don't think you need to slam
Oh
him
yeah,
in.
it's definitely a huge risk by playing him. I'm
So
just
Sutton
saying
for
it's going to happen.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's coming. I'm gonna go Sutton, Mike Williams. Man. And what chief do you want? Jesus. I'm gonna go. Man, every time I want to say it, nothing comes out. I'm gonna go Pacheco. I think this is a great spot for him. It's a fantastic spot. Washington, Steelers, or the Saints here for a DST from Mike.
I'm going to go with the Steelers.
I'm gonna go Washington. Saints are going to be without Cam Jordan, which is obviously a huge blow to that defense. Marshawn Lattimore still not back.
Yeah, just the Bengals. I mean, their offensive line has been a problem. Obviously, T.J. Watt getting him back is going to be huge. Mika Fitzpatrick is going to be back. So I like the Steelers here over Watt. It's just with Washington, their run defense has been really good. Their pass defense has not been very good. And the Texans haven't been like this team that you really want to target every week, for a defense. They seem to stay in games. They don't make a lot of really bad decisions. And like that game could be a lot closer. I think people are expecting it to be. And so both teams really want to run the football, low scoring. I don't think you're going to see a lot of, and so it doesn't scream to me like great matchup. So Steelers, I think, just make a little bit more sense.
Slayton or Hollywood if he plays. I've not seen any updates on Hollywood.
I think you got to go Slayton. I mean, what are you going to do do you have another option if Hollywood Brown doesn't play?
Gus Edwards officially inactive.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews, and Njoku is active as well.
The rare rap sheet win, because Schefter had tweeted it was 2 hours prior to that he was expected to play, and then rap sheet came out a couple hours later saying that he was going to be out, and rap sheet is always wrong. So the rare W. Good job, rap sheet.
Haven't seen anything on Marquise Brown, so I'm just going to go Slayton there as well. Emmanuel rocking with us. Good to see you in here. Need an RB2 and 2 flexes. So we're looking at Jamal Williams, Drake, Miles Sanders, Cooks, Rondale Moore, and Slayton in a full PPR.
Jamal Williams, Kenyon Drake, and Rondale Moore.
Plugging in Drake for my RB2. Jamal. And Rondale Moore for me as well. Trying to see if I can slide Slayton in there, but the volume, I just gotta go with Rondale there. Noel, we need 2 Pittman, Ayuk, DPJ, and Pacheco.
Ooh. Ayuk and Pittman.
Guess I'm riding and dying with Pacheco this week. I'm going Ayuk and Pacheco.
I mean, I like I said, we talked. I like Pacheco. Again, talked about him in the video. It's just there's a lot of range of outcomes there for him. Never trust Andy Reid. Anytime it seems like a great matchup, like just it's hard to trust. So
Got B Matt come through with the holla. Appreciate you, Foreman or Drake. Now that Gus is inactive.
Kenyon Drake. I really like Kenyon Drake this week.
Yep. Me too. Locking him in. Where are we at? CB. Need 2 running backs and a flex in a PPR. Mixon, Stevenson, Pierce. So let's start with the running backs. Mixon, Stevenson, Pierce, and Chubb. We need 2.
My God.
I'm going to go Chubb and Mixon.
Yes.
And then flex, we're looking at Stevenson, Pierce, Tony, and Amon-Ra.
St. Brown.
St. Brown for me as well. 2 wide receivers in a flex here for Xenon, St. Brown, Hollywood, Devonta, MVS, Deonta, and Pacheco.
Sun God.
Mm-hmm.
Devonta and Pacheco.
I'm with you. I just, man, wish that Steelers offense was a little bit better, because this would easily be Deontay for me. I've consistently been seeing more targets than Devonta Smith has, but the production, the fantasy points just aren't there. Marco, Swift or Pacheco? PPR, I am forced to win. Go Pacheco.
Yeah, that one I'd go Pacheco. Yeah.
Let's go. New Life. Past TPR pick? I don't know what that means. Gabe Davis, Jacoby Myers, Darnell Mooney.
Maybe that's just supposed to be maybe it's supposed to be PPR. Or no, past TPR pick. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe PPR pick 2, I guess. And this is going to be Gabe and Jacoby for me.
I'm going to go Gabe Davis, and I'm going to go with Darnell Mooney.
Just can't quit him, can you?
No.
Terrell Sutton or Tony in a PPR is going to be Sutton for both of us. Tony or Olave.
Kadarius Tony.
Let's go. That is correct. How much are we buying Kamara? Also, I got Fields, but I'm not sitting studs. AJ, what options do you have at running back? Let us know who you're kicking the tires on, who you're thinking about, and then we can help you out a little bit. Not great for Kamara, but he's kind of in that Aaron Jones type of ilk, where he's also 1 game away from putting up 3 touchdowns and winning your week. So let us know what options you have, and then we can help you out there with Kamara. Deontay Johnson or Tony. Also got Slayton. Other receivers, CD, St. Brown.
Yeah, it's gonna be Tony.
Agreed. Anthony Ramos, Wilson or Mariota.
I'm gonna go with Russell Wilson.
I mean Russ as well. Just too hard to trust Mariota. Nick Allen, Kenyon, Singletary, Deonta, half PPR.
It's gonna be Drake.
Kenyon Drake week confirmed. Pittman or Drake? Gus is out. Gus is out. So who do you like there between those two?
I'm gonna go with Drake.
Yeah. I know McLaurin balled last week against his secondary, but I'm going to go Drake as well. Then do we like Goff or Heineke?
I'm gonna go Goff. I don't particularly love it, but I mean, I think it's the best option that you got right now. So, there's just yeah, I'm gonna go Goff.
Samesies. We need to sit one here for Xenon, Pierce, Stevenson, JT, and Jamal.
Said Jamal.
Yeah, I said Jamal as well. Nice options, though. Good problem to have, Xenon. Another one here from Anthony Pickens, Wilson, or Cooks in a full PPR. I think because of the projected weather in that game, just because of the wind, that's the biggest thing. Garrett Wilson. We're looking at sustained winds between 15 to 20 miles per hour with stronger gusts. I saw like as high as 40 plus for that game. So I'm going to go Pickens because of that. I'm going to use that as the tiebreaker.
Yeah, I'll go Pickens.
Without the weather concerns, I would lean Wilson, even not a great matchup. But because of those winds and where Wilson typically operates, I'm gonna lean Pickens. Bing bong. Morning, fellas. Swift or Mooney? Here you go, Kev. Here you go.
I'm gonna go Mooney.
Yeah, I mean, as much as Fields has been balling out, Darnell Mooney still isn't doing much, but I'm still going to go Mooney over Swift, which is not something I thought I'd be saying ever, even if there was a fire. AP, here's the lineup: 5-5, need to win to stay alive. Kirk, Jacobs, Monty, McLaurin, JJ, Patty, Sutton. Ravens Dean on the bench. We have Boyd, Sutton, Sanders, Pittman, and Najee. So we have some interesting bench options here, Kev. Are you switching any of this out? So you don't have Sutton on the bench. Looks like Sutton's in your flex. So Boyd, Sanders, Pittman, Najee.
I think you roll with that. I think you roll with the way you got it.
Are you worried at all with Jacobs in the matchup against Denver?
Yeah, but I mean, it's so like the other options are Najee, which Najee's Najee, and and then you have Pittman, or not Pittman, but Miles Sanders, who again is in a really bad matchup. At least with Jacobs, like that you're not worried about like Derek Carr taking rushing opportunities away from him. And he's seeing such a ridiculous opportunity share that offense. He's seeing targets in the passing game too. So I mean, while this isn't a good matchup, it's still hard to sit somebody that's going to see that kind of usage. So that's why I think you have to play him.
Dalton and Riley, full PPR. Who do I start at wide receiver?
Darnell Mooney.
I'm gonna go Pickens over Mooney.
I mean, the thing with Mooney is he's been a lot more reliable lately. Last week, I know he only scored 9.7, but weeks before that, 17.5, 12, 13, 8.8. Like, I mean, he's been a lot more reliable as of recently, and he still sees a pretty solid target share in that offense. 28% target share, which is 10th most among all wide receivers. He's also
5 targets per game.
Well, yeah, but this game, like I said, has one of the highest totals on the week. So, yeah, I think this could be a game where you see Mooney go 5 for 110 and a score.
1KC dot. Should I start Hollywood or be safe and start Adam T or Joshua Palmer? Man. I think I'm just going to go Palmer there. I know, obviously, Mike
Do you have another option? Like, you're going to need another option ready? Like, because I actually would not try to roll the dice and hope that Marquise Brown plays. I know he's listed as questionable. We're not going to know anything until tomorrow. But you're going to have another option because I don't love Josh Palmer with Keenan and Mike Williams going back, and so it really lowers him down a lot. And then I don't want to play Adam Thielen unless I was forced to. So, but again, you'd have to have another option ready. Like,
and the only one I could think of that's probably widely available would be Greg Dortch, right? Like if Marquise doesn't go, I can't imagine Rondale Moore is just sitting out there.
No, but I was thinking Juwan Jennings on the other side, who sees targets. Who I was thinking of that you could possibly. I know it's not like a sexy option, but like you're going to need somebody. So you're not. We just don't want to just take an automatic 0. I mean, he saw 4 targets. I mean, he sees like 4 to 5 targets a game. But not real sexy option. I know. I mean, unless or maybe like an AJ Green, but again, I would much rather trust Juwan Jennings because he sees far more targets than what AJ Green does.
Yeah, I just think I'm still going to go Palmer. Obviously, his upside is severely limited. His ceiling is definitely capped if both of those guys play. But I think even if both of them play, I can't imagine that, like, because it doesn't sound like super confident for Keenan, right? Like the quote was like, I plan to play, but it's up to the coaches. I feel like if Keenan were good to go, it would be more of a, I'm definitely playing. I'm coming back this week. So I still think that, especially with them being 7-point home dogs, I still think Palmer's going to need to be involved. 52.5 point total compared to a 43.5. I'm just going to plug in Palmer and then kind of just hope that he finds the end zone.
Yeah, I think I would, but I'm a lot more. Because we're not going to know anything because the Cardinals don't have to activate Marquise Brown until tomorrow afternoon. So we're not really going to know. But, man, I'd hate to sit him with the options that you have. And so, again, if you could pick up someone like Juwan Jennings or something like that, he's not a great option, but someone that could get, at least 7 or 8 points, and not kill you. Versus, because like Greg Dortch has seen a total of 6 targets over the last 7 weeks. So, like, he's not really an option. AJ Green's not really an option. But Juwan Jennings sees usually around 4 or 5 targets per game.
Will, who should I start flexing a PPR? Elijah Mitchell, Claypool, or MVS?
I really want to say Claypool, but
no, you don't.
Yeah, I do. It's like a Van Jefferson sitting out there. Does it? Because I would rather play him than all these guys, but I would probably go MVS.
think if you want to take the upside shot, you're going MVS. If you want to play it safe, I would go Elijah Mitchell. I was very surprised to see how involved he was in his first game back, especially considering the fact that Christian McCaffrey is there. And Eli looked good, man. So I think the safe play is with Elijah Mitchell. I think you can probably lock him in for 10 to 14 touches. MVS last week, even with Juju going down, Mecole Hardman not playing, I think he only saw 4 targets, I want to say. But I think he's definitely the upside play. Elijah Mitchell's the safe play. So that's how I would decide with those. Claypool is not in play. Fam first, Gibson or Foreman in a PPR?
Gibson.
I go Gibson as well. MJ, the Pug Lord. Let's go. I haven't seen MJ in here for a while. RBs are ETN, Pollard, Patterson. Wide receivers are Lamb, AJ Brown, Olave, Deonta, Burks, Chase, Trey Patterson, and Johnson for Connor to upgrade at RB.
I don't think it's much of a big upgrade between Patterson and Connor.
I'm throwing Deontay on top, even though Deontay hasn't been great. Like, that just feels like a little much. Like, if you want to upgrade it at running back, I'm going to get someone who, like you're alluding to, Kev, is a clear upgrade.
And I probably would wait after this week too, right? Because this is such a good matchup for the Falcons. If Patterson has a really good week, then it's a lot easier to move him. Like, he's coming off 2 pretty okay to bad game weeks, so his value is just not as high as what it should be. And I would wait till after this week where he has potential to really, have a really solid week, 20 plus fantasy points. If he does that, you can trade him a lot easier, and you can just trade him by himself without even having to trade Deontay Johnson at that point, and maybe buy low on somebody. So I would hold. I did trade him, and then he goes off for 25, and then bam, you could have got somebody with a lot better value.
Yeah, good call. Ashton coming through with the super chat. Appreciate you, my man. PPR, Carter, Hendo, Marshall, or Komet. Ashton always making us work for those super chats.
Not Carter.
Not Henderson.
I'm going to go Terrace Marshall.
I'm going to go with Komet. I don't love it, but I also don't love Marshall. And at least with Komet, we've talked about that total in that game a bunch of times now. Sets up as a good matchup for him as well. So I'm gonna go Komet. Baker back in. I don't know.
He did score a touchdown with Baker a couple weeks ago.
Is that the one that saved us that week?
Yeah, he scored a touchdown.
Appreciate you, Ashton. Trying to find where we were. Oh, I think I remember now. So yeah, this is why Michael couldn't get Tony there. AJ Brown, Amon, and Jefferson. Yeah, you're not getting Tony in over those guys. We need to start one tight end and a flex in a PPR and a tight end premium. Dulcich, Njoku, Duvernay, or Wandale.
This is Dulcich. And
Njoku.
Yeah, Njoku. He just worries me a little bit with this matchup against the Bills, and him coming off this injury.
Edmonds is out, if that makes you feel any better. I just think with Andrews back, like Duvernay is the tight end of wide receivers, right? Like he basically needs to get you that one touchdown on 3 to 4 catches for him to do anything in your fantasy lineups. Wandale's been disappointing. I saw a questionable tag. I don't know exactly what's going on with him, but I think that game obviously just sets up to be another Saquon Barkley smash week. So I'm just gonna roll with the tight ends here. Get that little bump in the tight end premium. So
Yeah, I thought I was finally going to get to. There's a something I was wanting to talk about. I was hoping I thought maybe we'd get like a Jack Stoll question today. With him, the Dallas Goddard out, but it hasn't happened. But I actually like Grant Calcaterra over Jack Stoll. Like I think Stoll is still going to just be the blocking back or blocking tight end, and I think Grant Calcaterra is going to end up going to be the starting tight end for the Eagles. He's more athletic, and I just think that he's seen very limited action. Week 1 he saw he hauled in a 40-yard bomb, but he really hasn't been active much. That's because Jack Stoll is the more of the run blocker is more of the blocking tight end, where I think Grant Calcaterra is going to be much more of the pass catching tight end. He actually has a 82nd percentile speed score, 75th percentile agility score, and a 71st percentile catch radius, and he is best comparable to Hayden Hurst, where Jack Stoll is best comparable to Anthony Fasano. So if that does anything for you, I don't know. But I was hoping, but it doesn't look like I'm going to get to. I almost thought about it with that one, saying maybe you go look to pick him up, but I think you'd rather just play Njoku.
Calcaterra was a baller too. We have to remember it at Oklahoma before he had that like semi-retirement because of the concussion issues, I believe. But then he came back and went to SMU, I want to say. So he does have some pedigree behind him as well. Tony or DPJ for Ashton. We're gonna go Tony on that one. Eli Mitchell or Gallup.
I'm gonna go Gallup.
I'm gonna go Eli. Sorry we weren't much help there. Stephen Drake's coming through with the super chat. Really appreciate you, my man. We need 2 in a. I don't know why I said that. Just so used to people putting the the format right after that. We need 2. Pittman, Myers, Gabe, Ayuk, and then would you drop Warren or Elijah Mitchell to put Andrews back in the lineup?
I would drop Warren. Elijah. Yeah. Oh, really? I would drop.
Oh, Elijah Moore. Never mind. Moore. Yeah, sorry. I saw Elijah M and just assumed that was Mitchell because Moore hasn't been worth anything. So yes, I would drop Elijah Moore to get Andrews back in there, and then we need 2, and then it's going to be Ayuk and Pittman. Ayuk and Davis. I'm going to go Ayuk and Gabe Davis.
Yeah, Ayuk and Gabe Davis, and drop Elijah Moore. And apparently, New York Jets is a place for wide receivers go to die because I don't get it. Like last, I suppose Denzel Mims, which who knows, maybe Denzel Mims is nothing and maybe he's not very good. But Elijah Moore to play as well as he did last year to now, he's just like an absolute zero. I don't know, wild, especially with like Corey Davis out too. It's like it's not like they're just a loaded offense and they can afford this. Like just have him not do anything. He did play 45% of the snaps last week, but he saw 0 targets. So he saw 1 target over the last 3 weeks. So yeah, super frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Saleh is just sticking to his guns, saying "fuck you."
Maybe it's like a Brandon Ayuk thing, like we saw last year, right when he was in the doghouse.
Well, yeah, I mean, we did have those reports that Elijah Moore was just like, "Trade me, I want out," and Saleh was just like, "No, we're not going to do that. You're going to stay here, and you're not going to play." Appreciate the super chat, Steven. Appreciate all you for rocking with us. If you are with us for the first time, we'd really appreciate that sub and hit that like button as well if you have yet to do so. We're on the road to 4K. One more here for Ashton. We need to start one out of Pierce, Eli, or Gallup.
Still Gallup.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go the safe route again. Just stick with Eli. What about Slayton or DPJ?
Donovan Peoples-Jones.
DPJ for me as well. Need one wide receiver, one flex, and a full PPR here for Gator. Robinson, Garrett Wilson, James Conner, Rondell Moore, Cole Kmet.
I'm going to go with A-Rob and Connor.
Agreed. Broncos, Jets, or Ravens D?
Ravens.
I'm going to go Jets. I'm going to take the Jets D on this one. Okay, Xenon, sorry. We need two wide receivers and a flex here for Xenon. St. Brown, Devonta Smith, Deontay Pacheco, Hollywood Brown, I'm assuming, and MVS. So two wide receivers and a flex.
Amon-Ra, Devonta Smith, and Pacheco.
Agreed. Sorry, we missed that. Xenon, back to Mike. Kamara or Pierce?
I'm going to go Kamara.
Man.
I just think, his pass catching role makes him a little more attractive. And because Pierce, and I also, it's kind of frustrating that they went out and added, Benjamin too. But, but Pierce is, it's just not a very good matchup. The Washington football team has been really good against opposing running backs. They are second in rush DVOA on the year. And so they've done a really good job against opposing running backs. So I don't think this is as good of a matchup for Dameon Pierce. So not that it's a terrific matchup for Kamara, because the Rams are fourth in rush DVOA on the year. So both not great, but I think he can be utilized more as a pass catcher in the pass catching option versus what Dameon Pierce probably will see. So, and then I didn't even realize he was even still on anybody's team, but David Johnson got activated to the active roster for the Saints.
Yeah, I did see that. I agree with you with what you're saying about the matchup for Pierce, but I feel like even in a bad matchup, I still think he's locked in for more opportunity than Kamara. So I'm going to lean Pierce. Yeah, I'm going to lean Pierce. Big Truz. Let's go. Good to see some of these familiar faces back rocking with us today. Sutton, Foreman, Boyd, Ayuk. We need two. It'll be Sutton and Ayuk.
Yeah.
And then Foreman, Van Jeff, or Sutton. And then that's going to be Sutton for me on that one.
Yeah, correct.
Zah. Would you trade Jacobs for Waddle or keep who I got? Higgins, Gabe Davis, Mike Will, Rondell Moore, Tony. Yeah, I would trade Jacobs for Waddle. Still have Barkley and Eckler. Upgrade in that wide receiver room. I would do that.
I think I would hold Josh Jacobs. It's just there's such a drop off from what he has left after that. I know Elijah Mitchell's going to be involved moving forward, but still, it would take a Christian McCaffrey injury for him to really. He's going to be so up and down, and then Deonta Foreman is kind of the same thing, very much game script dependent, and so you have if you lose Barkley or Eckler, you're in trouble. Versus your wide
but I don't think Jacobs really makes you feel great. It's a drop off from Barkley and Eckler anyway.
Yeah, but it's a tier drop off, not a cliff compared to that, right? Because he's still it's so tough because he's seeing 83% of the opportunities in that backfield, which is number 2 among all, and he's also top 10 in targets. He's seeing such incredible usage that, yeah, he had some down weeks, week 8 and 9 for sure. But for the most part, I mean, it's going to be it's really hard for him to kind of fail on most weeks. He may not get there on the ground, but he could still, when he's seeing, 6, 7, 8 targets in a game, it makes it hard. He's still going to be able to get there through the air. And so with Waddle, love Waddle too. Don't get me wrong, but running back is just so much harder to replace. Where you look at the running receivers he still has a lot of pretty damn good wide receivers. I mean, I don't think you are like in desperate need of an upgrade to a wide receiver. I mean, you have Higgins, Gabe Davis, Mike Williams. Now that he's back, that's a boost. Rondell Moore has been good. I mean, Kadarius Toney could end up being a thing the rest of the year. So I just don't think he needs, to make that upgrade. And I would rather just rock the 3 running backs that you have in case something were to go down with one of them. Then you're still in a really good spot. You're not going to be dead. Like if you trade him and then Saquon Barkley or Austin Eckler goes down, knock on wood, because we don't want that. But if one of them were to go down, you're going to be you're going to be a real tough spot.
I think you could end up, if you take Waddle, I think you can end up flipping some of those receivers as well. You know what I mean? Like maybe pair Eli with Gabe or Eli with, Mike Will or whatever you want to end up doing. Like, I think there's ways that you could then still get Waddle and then.
But couldn't you do that anyway now for a better wide receiver and not have to trade the running back and be able to still keep, you have a ton of wide receivers here, especially with all the guys that are back. Gabe Davis goes out today and scores 30, which is completely in the range of possibility. I mean, he becomes someone you could easily sell because he's high. Kadarius Toney, I mean, his value is off the charts right now. People love him. If he goes out and has a really good game, I think you could take some of these guys now and really upgrade to a pretty solid elite wide receiver to be able to do that now versus not still have to give up Jacobs.
Yeah. Sorry, we weren't much out there. So. Tony or Tony?
Yeah, we kind of had this earlier. It'd be Pollard.
Washington D or Pats D? I'm going to go with the Patriots.
Yeah.
So when it comes to Kamara, I have CP and Monty, and then Fields, Lamar, and Hurts. AJ, why do we have so many quarterbacks?
He says multiple leagues. So does he have Kamara on all these teams or something? I don't know. I'm confused. Are
you playing Kamara over CPAT?
Yeah. And Montgomery. Okay.
If you needed 2 of those 3, who are you playing?
Kamara and Monty.
Okay. With you. Tony, good morning to you. Rondell Toney or Mike Will?
Mike Williams.
Mike Williams for me as well. Another one here from Emmy. Slayton, Pickens, Palmer. We need 2 in a full PPR.
I'm going to go with the first 2, Slayton and Pickens.
Me as well.
I really feel like the thing with Keenan Allen, though, it's either because he said before, he's not coming back until he's 100% this time, and so hopefully maybe he's 100%.
Yeah, but I know he said that too, but then his comments about I plan to play and it's up to the coaching staff is weird to me as well.
Well, I think they're kind of in an awkward spot though, because if they lose this game, you're really staring down the barrel of not making the playoffs. So this is kind of a must win for them.
Well, Lito coming through with the super chat just to tell us that Kupp is expected to miss 6 to 8 weeks. Yeah,
he's done. I think he's done for the year. But unless the Rams go on some crazy win streak or something like that, is the only way I see him coming back. Like if they're continuing to go down the path they're going now, and they easily miss the playoffs, there's zero reason to bring him back.
Yeah,
So
McVay came out and said that like they need to bounce back and go on a run here to give any hope for Cup to come back. So it's kind of in the back of their minds as well. Like they've already came out and just straight up said that.
yeah,
Need to sit one here for Graham, Najee, Gibson, or Drake.
I'm gonna say Gibson.
I'm gonna sit Najee.
All right. I mean, I think they're both really close. I think I have them really close to each other, both as like back in RB2s this week, where I have Kenyon Drake higher. So.
I just like the matchup better for Gibson, and now we have Jaylen Warren mixing in as well. So I mean, obviously Gibson is splitting touches, but one of the reasons why we love Najee Harris so much is because he was getting 90% of the opportunities in that backfield, and now Warren's starting to mix in a little bit more. K5 full PPR start 1 in the flex. Drake, Sanders, Schultz.
I'm gonna go Kenyon Drake.
Going Drake as well. It was between Drake and Schultz.
Yep.
For me, that's going to be Drake. 9-1 in the Yahoo League here for Emmanuel. 12-team half PPR. We need a tight end and a flex. Njoku or Everett. That is going to be Njoku. Everett was downgraded to questionable. And then in the flex, we're looking at Connor Ayuk, Singletary, DJ Moore, and that is going to be Ayuk for me.
Correct. Agreed.
Much love to you in the motherland, Emmanuel. Appreciate you for always rocking with us. Half PPR start 2 here for K5. 2 and a flex. Jamal, Connor, Drake, Foreman.
Drake.
So we need to sit one.
Oh, sit Foreman.
Yeah, sitting Foreman. And side question, do we think Hopkins plays? Only other option is Deontay. I want to say that he does, but like that's.
I believe the last update I saw is he's expected to play. So DeAndre Hopkins, that is.
Yeah, I think he does. We need to Boyd, Palmer, A-Rob, and Deonta. It's going to be Boyd and A-Rob.
Yep.
For me. Jay Rosa. Start Mike Williams today if he is a go. Yes. And should I sit Pitts for Juwan Johnson? It's going to keep slamming my head into a door and play Pitts.
I know we went from them not utilizing Pitts, like throwing on the ball, to now they're actually seeing a lot of targets, and he's actually second among all tight ends in target share, on the year, and
3 targets per game
with a 27% target share. But he is now, with Marcus Mariota being just booty. He only sees a 57.4% catchable target rate, which is 34th among all tight ends. So the balls he's seeing a lot of volume, but the passes he's seeing are absolutely dreadful. And so, yeah. But I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Kyle Pitts.
Go with Pitts as well, and he's been just like a play here and there from having a couple big weeks that he's just missed on, which obviously goes into what you were just saying about his catchable target rate. Like there's been a couple where if he catches it, he's winning your week. So like I said, I'm just gonna keep slamming my head into the wall, just lock in Pitts. And Njoku or Schultz in a PPR for CB. I'm just gonna go with Schultz and play it safe.
Yep, I'm gonna go. I don't even think it's playing it safe. I have him as tight end 3 overall this week. So
I feel like if Njoku were fully healthy, I'd be or if I felt better about Njoku being fully healthy, I would lean Njoku, but I just mean playing it safe in terms of like not wanting to worry about. Like I think Schultz is a good play this week. I just don't want to worry about Njoku. Chris V, Foreman or McKinnon? Here we go, Kev.
I hope he doesn't end up but I just can't. I'm gonna go McKinnon.
I'm gonna go McKinnon as well.
I just all his games his good games have come in like really good game scripts, right? And so unless you think that the Panthers are going to be able to lead this game or keep it really close for Foreman to continue to be utilized a lot, like if they fall down at all, like it's probably night for Foreman. And so where McKinnon, he's going to be involved no matter what throughout whatever the game script is. So he's game script proof. And so he's seen 8 targets each of the last 2 games. So I would just go McKinnon.
Yeah. Kind of wild. It's a 13-point spread in that Ravens game, and the total is only 41.5. Like that's pretty big spread for being a low total. But yeah, I agree. Andrews over Komet. Should I be concerned about the weather?
No,
I don't think so. I don't think we're seeing the gusts that are going to be as high as in the New England game. So I think and it looks like the winds could potentially die down as the game goes on in that Baltimore game. Mike is in a guillotine league, which is by far my favorite way to play redraft. I love guillotine leagues, Mike. So we need 2 wide receivers: Lamb, Pittman, Ayuk. Could also drop one to pick up Boyd, Lazard, or Devonta Smith. I would not, and I'm just going to go Lamb and Ayuk.
Yeah.
I love guillotine leagues. So much fun. I have one left in a league that our boy Tommy runs. Got bounced from my other one a couple weeks ago. Need to sit one here for Ashton. Dolchich, Njoku, or Hurst. I'm going to sit Hurst there. Ashton, I'm sure Kev is with me. Juan Pena, who for my wide receiver 1 and 2. We got Moore, Thielen, Boyd, DeAndre Carter, Mike Williams. That is going to be Mike and Boyd for both of us. Who do I flex? Gibson, Jamal Williams, or James Conner?
I'm going to go Jamal Williams.
Jamal and Conner is super close for me. I'm going to go James Conner by a smidge. But Juan, if you like Jamal a little bit better out of this group, I'm fine with Jamal as well. I think I have them 1 spot apart in my rankings, so both super close. Gerard Woodbury, start Lamar Jackson coming off a bye week and a sickness, or Jalen Hurts coming off an L?
I'm going to go Jalen Hurts.
I give the edge to Hurts as well. And I would just try and trade one of these so you're not faced with this decision every single week. Like this is beating my head off of a wall deciding between these two. Ooh, a super flex ski. Well, I guess Tom's is that way too. Makes the draft really interesting. Nice. I like it. Mike, do you guys use Fab for your guillotine league, or do you just have regular waivers? Every guillotine league I've done, we use a Fab budget. Just curious if yours is the same. Flex spots for Ashton or Pittman, Ayuk, and Tony. Marquise on IR. How should I play it? I think you just leave it as is. It's not like you're, you know what I mean? If your third wide receiver there were Duvernay, then I think, you know what I mean, you potentially think about plugging Marquise in and hoping for the best. But those 3 wide receivers are fine. I wouldn't want to chance it. Because then especially if you're hoping that maybe we get some like Sunday night news that, hey, looks like Marquise is trending toward, because like Kev said, we obviously they don't have to activate him until tomorrow. I'm not going to take Ayuk out in the matchup that he has with, especially with Murphy being out. That is a big boost to Ayuk. Deontay or Garrett Wilson? I'm going to go Deontay there.
Yeah, agreed.
Connor or Gibson? There you go, Connor.
Yeah.
Sounds like Arya agrees. And a PPR for Laura and Jim Cooperman. We need to start 2 wide receivers and a flex. Ayuk, Pittman, Devonta, Landry, Warren, and Eli Mitchell. I'm just going to go the first 3 wide receivers.
Yep, I agree, yeah.
Rosa, let us know who you'd potentially be playing him over. I mean, I definitely think he's worth a pickup, but you likely don't have to slam him in. It's not like this offense has been good outside of Kupp. Obviously, some of these guys are going to get a bump with Kupp being out, but I definitely don't think you have to slam him in. Definitely worth a pickup, but I don't think you need to start him.
Yeah, I think he's definitely worth an ad. I mean, he shouldn't be out there. I mean, because he has the potential to be like a top 36 wide receiver rest of season. So, yeah, I think he's definitely worth an ad.
Pacheco or DJ Moore?
Checo.
Let's go. Cooper, Smitty, Tony, Williams, sit one.
I'm sitting Amari Cooper. I think it's between him and Devonta Smith. I'm not sitting Tony, and I'm not sitting Mike Williams. So yeah, if you want to do that, that's fine. I think it's both of them are kind of in the same tier.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit Smith. Sorry, Eagles. Jacob Vaughn, Kmet or Moreau?
Moreau.
Moreau for me as well. Parker, JP, Williams or Deontay Johnson in the flex. Also have Boyd and Ayuk in. Yeah, that'd be Mike Williams. Williams, Boyd, and Ayuk for me. Superflex League, run with Heineke or wait and see if Kyler can go.
I mean, is there any shot of being able to pick up Colt McCoy? Don't know if he'd be sitting out there in a super flex, especially when he played last week. But I mean, obviously with you have Kyler. I mean,
I would just go Heineke.
I don't know with Heineke. It's just he's so bad.
He's not great, but at least the matchup is there.
I view Colt McCoy and Taylor Heineke very similar. Like I think they can give you kind of the same sort of ceiling. And the same sort of upside. And this game just doesn't look like a game that they're going to be throwing the ball a ton. And if it's not, then I don't know. Like, where Kyler Murray, if he plays, then, I mean, obviously he has top 10 upside. And then if Colt McCoy plays, like I've said in the past, we've seen Colt McCoy be able to be a decent option as a thrower of the football. And it sounds like they're going to have all their weapons, especially with having, with the possibility of also getting Marcus Brown back. I mean, even last week, against the Rams, where it was kind of a low-scoring game, he still, was decent. But last week, he got 238 passing yards and a touchdown. So for Colt McCoy, like he said, Colt McCoy is sitting out there too. So like, I would probably rather just pick him up, and then you're good to go. Because I would hate to not have Kyler Murray and play Taylor Heineke. You can get 10 fantasy points this week. So.
Pacheco or Foreman, that is going to be Pacheco for both of us. Yeah, Mike, I missed out. I think I have like $90 left, and I missed out on Derrick Henry by like $10. It's like each week I just max out on a couple of guys, and I missed Henry and Devontae Adams by like $10. Guillotine leagues are so much fun, man. BP, start one. Mike Williams, Deontay Johnson, Boyd, or Pittman.
Oh, only one of these. I'm gonna go Mike. I'm gonna go Mike Will.
Mike Will for me as well. Pacheco, Boyd, or B-Rob.
Pacheco.
Let's go. And we said Jalen over Lamar. What about the matchup? Jalen versus Indy, and it's Lamar versus Carolina. I just think that I know Indy is obviously the better defense, but Jalen has a similar rushing ability, and his passing is much higher.
Yeah, I think they're kind of 1-for-1 in terms of their rushing ability. I mean, they're kind of the same, right? And then it's just the game script and everything aligns a little bit more for Jalen Hurts to have to throw the ball more. Obviously, weapons go definitely in the Eagles' direction with AJ Brown, who sounds like he's pretty much healthy. He's healthy, and Devonta Smith. I know they're missing Dallas Goedert, but I would just lean towards Jalen Hurts.
Speaking of those Philly weapons, do you want to double down? Smitty or Pickens, but Kenny is already starting AJ Brown.
Yeah, I think go both. We're just full game stacking it. The good news is with these guys, so with Dallas Goedert out, there's a pretty good chance that you're going to see a lot of pretty much like kind of a consolidated target share to both of them, to Devonta Smith and AJ Brown. They're going to definitely be the top two in targets. So,
yeah, that makes me feel a lot better about starting both of them. I do like Pickens this week, but he's more of a wide receiver 3, where I have Smitty in that wide receiver 2 range. Healing meditation, Tony or Ayuk in a PPR?
I'm gonna go Ayuk. It's really close. I love Tony. I think I have Tony now at like he's at like wide. He's the top. I think I have him in like 17 or 18. Maybe he's 15. So he's in a really really good spot. But I just lean a little bit more towards Ayuk. It's close between both of them.
Samesies. Have PPR, my running backs suck. Hines or Algier, or pick up McKinnon? I'm picking up McKinnon.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Picking up McKinnon there. Mike, Cooper Lauren, pick 2, Pacheco, Latavius, Murray, Carter, Zeke, Terrace Marshall. So we're locking in Pacheco. Man, oh man.
I think I'm going to go Michael Carter.
That's where I was leaning as well.
He was utilized more as a pass catcher the last time they played, 2 weeks ago when they played New England. He actually saw 7 targets in that game. Only 7 carries. He's still seeing red zone opportunities, playing 50 to 60% of the snaps, even with James Robinson. I can't trust Zeke with whatever's going to happen there, and then it's Latavius Murray, which
now with a 3 committee.
Yeah, and then Terrace Marshall, it's just I think I would go Michael Carter and Pacheco.
Christian, 1 full PPR, got Benny Sco, Watson, Mooney, or Nico.
I'm going to go with Darnell Mooney. It's a lot closer than it should be because I have Darnell Mooney at wide receiver 27, and I have Nico Collins at wide receiver 29.
I'm going to go Nico. I like Nico here in this matchup, especially with the way that the strengths and weaknesses play out with that Washington defense. So I'm going to go Nico. But it would be between Nico and Collins. Dropping Henderson, Gus, or Komet / Moreau for McCoy. So with Jacobs' super flex question. Who do you want to drop here?
Probably going to drop Gus Edwards. I just don't think he has much of it. I mean, he's still dealing with this other injury. Let's see with Lamar, Kenyon Drake, the well as he's playing. J.K. Dobbins should be back within the next couple of weeks. I just don't think Gus Edwards really has much of an upside here. And so I think you could easily just drop it. I mean, if you want to drop it your second tight end too, you could. Or another, the tight end. But I think Gus Edwards is easily droppable.
I'm going to drop Henderson. Because at least I feel like once Gus gets healthy, I still think he has a higher touch floor than Henderson does. Now we have Kyron Williams active and getting involved. Akers is still there holding on by a thread. I just think there's more upside with Gus. Because Drake has played well, but we've seen him kind of be a little bit up and down. So I don't think that it's going to necessarily be a case where Drake is going to be the clear-cut running back ahead of Gus if Gus is healthy. So I think Drake is still going to factor in. I don't think it's going to be Gus as the clear-cut running back one either. But in a offense that is, running as well as they are, even with splitting with Lamar getting his carries as well, I think I'd rather just drop Henderson or, like you said, dropping one of those tight ends as well. And I'd probably lean dropping Kmet. So maybe that's just how we get some consensus here, is that we just drop Kmet, and that's how you get McCoy. Jelly of the month. It's awesome. Palmer, would you drop Palmer to grab and stash Jaylen Warren or Keontae Ingram?
No.
Yeah, I don't think I would either, because, obviously either of those wide receivers for the Chargers could end up getting injured again. Jaylen Warren, even if Najee goes down, he's going to be limited. So I don't think I am. Hunt or Melvin Gordon?
I'm going to go Melvin Gordon.
My God. Yeah. I'm going to go Hunt. I don't love it. I don't love either, but at least there's one less body involved in that backfield. Gibson or CPAT or PPR?
Patterson.
Need to sit one here for Brady in a full PPR. J-Rob, CPAT, Jamal, Devonta, DJ Moore, Rondale Moore. I'm going to sit J-Rob.
Yeah.
Booty Warrior just coming in to give off some good vibes. Appreciate you, my man. Cooper, Slayton, Nico, or Terrace Marshall?
I'm going to go Nico.
Nico for me as well. Paca, Pitts, Higbee, Dalton, Schultz, 2 out of the 3.
Schultz and Pitts.
Schultz and Pitts for me as well. Pacheco, Swift, DJ Moore, or Devonta Smith. Looks like we need one of these for Graham. Say it.
I'm going to go Pacheco.
Let's go. RB Fant, Patterson or Drake?
Kenyon Drake.
Drake for me as well. Tony and wide receiver 3, or switch Myers or Marquise on Monday.
In this situation, I'm going to stick with Tony. Yeah, I know we talked about maybe still holding out hope for Marquise Brown, but with the option of Kadarius Toney, I would rather go with him.
For sure. Appreciate you all rocking with us. We're going to jump off here. I have some lineups to set. I know Kev is dabbling in his DFS as well. So I dropped the Discord link in there. If you guys have any other questions, go ahead and jump in. You can ask them in there. No strings attached, completely free. And then we will see you guys at halftime of the Sunday night game with the first look at Week 12 waivers. Years flying by. Let's get those dubs today. Let's make it to the playoffs. We appreciate all of you for rocking with us, and we will talk to you all tonight.